8 till 3. UNI Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is located at 1435 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. Check out the U&I webpage at the letter U, the letter I, autoparts.com, or call 909-888-6841. 909-888-6841.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anissa McNeil. I do the work and I tell the stories of foster youth. Join me Mondays at 3 p.m. on Kcaa 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Join Michelle Skeen for Relationships 2.0. This week, her guest will be best-selling author Robert Moss of Sidewalk Oracles, playing with sign, symbol, and synchronicity in everyday life. Moss will help you learn how to trust your feelings to bring enchantment into your everyday life. Don't miss Relationships 2.0 this Tuesday at 3 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
Radio. Stocks end the day slightly higher after a rebound in biotech shares offset some mixed earnings and another slide in shares of energy companies after oil prices took a little tumble. The Dow up 14 points today. The Nasdaq added 18. And oil's back below $46 a barrel on worries about economic growth in China, falling to a 6-year low last quarter. After the bell, mixed earnings from IBM, which marked its 14th straight quarter of year-over-year revenue declines. Shares right now down about 5% in late trading. Shares of Weight Watchers more than doubled in trading today. That's after Oprah Winfrey spent $43 million to acquire a 10% stake in the company, and she'll get a seat on its board of directors. SanDisk, said to be in advanced talks to buy fellow hard drive maker Western Digital. Shares are sharply higher. And a new federal data shows high school graduation rates ticked up in most states last year. Tom Busby, CNBC.
Ringing in the ears, all-natural ring relief helps. Our customers tell the story.
Peter C. says, "This is the first thank you I have ever written to a company. Your ring relief product has greatly reduced my tinnitus. Thank you for the good night's sleep."
James H. wrote, "This is the first time I've been free of ear ringing in over a year."
These are unsolicited testimonials from our customers. No gimmicks. If you suffer from tinnitus, join the thousands who found relief with all-natural ring relief.
Ring relief is available at Kroger, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, and Walmart. Or go to ringrelief.com for ring relief eardrops.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At BuySellMakeOffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at BuySellMakeOffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Good afternoon. It's 3:03. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live local news here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. San Bernardino County Sheriff deputies arrested 2 men after receiving a report of shots being fired at an apartment complex in Highland. Oscar Ramos and Ivan Galarza were both arrested and transported to Central Detention Center shortly before 1:30 Sunday morning after deputies arrived at the complex and found the suspects with one military-style assault rifle with 2 high-capacity magazines and 1 sawed-off shotgun. It was also found that Ramos, the owner of the guns, is a convicted felon who was also wanted in Orange County on suspicion of having sex with a minor. Galarza, who deputies say didn't fire any of the guns, was arrested on suspicion of being drunk in public. And sheriff deputies are also investigating the death of an infant who was struck by a car outside a Rancho Cucamonga fast food restaurant. The accident happened at about 11:46 yesterday morning in the 11,200 block of 4th Street when a woman was unloading her children and realized the car was still running. The car began to roll backward, and the woman attempted to apply the car brakes, but dropped the child in the process. That's when the child was reportedly run over. The young girl was transported to San Antonio Community Hospital in Upland and was later pronounced dead. Inland Empire weather. Partly cloudy through tomorrow, becoming mostly sunny on Wednesday's today's high, 75. Tomorrow, looking at a high of about 81. Overnight lows tonight, 61, nice and cool. Looking at your drive, nothing really going on out there, just a little stop and go traffic on the 91 eastbound between Green River Road and the 71. And that is the very latest with news, weather, and traffic. Foster to Foster is coming up next on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
We found the problem with your car.
And
Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
what?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
Stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience, and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
Welcome to Foster, and now here's your host, Dr. Anissa McNeil.
Good afternoon. This is Dr. McNeil, and welcome to Foster Radio Show. Today, listeners, we have the pleasure of answering one question that a foster youth asked about 3 weeks ago. This young lady asked me, Dr. McNeil, why did you decide to work on education for foster youth? She also asked, and how is education provided to foster youth in other places besides LA? So today we're going to dive deep and we're going to answer her questions. Why did I decide to work on education for foster youth? Well, that's an easy one for me. Education is the key to how I have been able to overcome some of the significant setbacks in my life. And I think that it is a tool, not the only tool, but a tool for other foster youth to be successful. So I decided to, within my own company, build a department called Foster Youth Education Services. And if you go to my website, www.edworks4 you would be able to see that our department, I have a team of consultants that provide services to educate, and we serve as ed rights holders. So all of the consultants in my office are court-appointed education right holders. And we work on the behalf of the students, parents, guardians, and other foster agencies. What do we do in my office? We provide education assessment. We do closing the gap services. We do collaboration and connection services. We also do academic enhancement workshops and trainings. We have partnered with local organizations, not just local organizations. I'm so pleased to announce to everyone, to all the listeners out there, that we're now working with a few organizations over our country. And that's exciting to know that we'll get to work to improve the education outcomes of foster youth. And if you go on the website, you'll see my lovely little logo for our foster youth education services. And our logo is real simple. It says, listen, educate, and protect. Why listen? That's why I have this radio show today. I want to listen to the voices of foster youth, and I want to be able to have a platform to discuss whatever is on the hearts and minds and the thoughts of foster youth. Educate, that's why I developed the Foster Youth Education Services Department within my organization. And always, always protect the children in our community. So it's very simple as to why I chose education. And just to make it a bit more personal, I'll just tell you that for me, education has served as a tool that would allow me to also focus, recenter myself, also be able to establish a threshold for my life. So if you're listening out there and you're a foster youth and you say, well, Dr. McNeil, what do you mean by a threshold? Because I didn't have parents, I didn't have anyone to fall back on as a safety net, I got myself a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in speech language pathology. Once I got that degree, it allowed me to have a certain level of income for my life. And that's what I mean by I have a certain threshold that I can live at within my life. So that education for me was kind of like an insurance policy. It allowed me the opportunity to live my life in a certain way and with certain means. I went on to get many more degrees than that, but for today, that's what we want to talk about. Why education is very important. And so at my company, Education Works, we've partnered with very specific partners throughout the country that really have a heart and a passion to educate our foster youth. And today I would like to introduce to you Mrs. Angela Hines, Esquire. Angela is the CEO of Project Window. And so, Angela, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. And Angela, Mrs. Hines, is joining us from New York. So, Angela, can you tell us a little bit about Project Window?
Sure. Project Window is a nonprofit organization, and we work with girls ages 10 through 15 that live in underserved communities in Far Rockaway. We provide them with the tools they need to be successful. We provide mentoring, tutoring, and we expose them to life outside of the community where they live.
Awesome. That's awesome. So our listeners are probably wondering, Dr. McNeil, how in the world did you connect with Mrs. Hines in New York if you're in California? Angela, do you want to share that story or do you want me to share?
Well, we both can share it. We both work with foster youth. We both think education is important, and we love the children.
Wonderful. So a very good colleague introduced me to Angela. Angela provides prom dresses. A part of her organization provides prom dresses to underprivileged girls. And because of her professional capacity of working with foster youth, she and I connected. And so from that connection, we found that we share these common threads and these common passions. Although Project Window primarily works with young women that are underprivileged, not specifically foster youth, in our talks and discussions, we determined that, or we found out that some of those girls that Mrs. Hines has been working with for a couple of years are indeed foster youth. So there you have it, listeners. That's how the two connected. And I'm so pleased to announce that we were able to collaborate last week there in Queens, New York, to provide an outstanding workshop to a local middle school on the high school application process in New York. So you probably, if you're listening, you're probably saying, well, Dr. McNeil, you went to New York to do high school applications. Remember that in my organization, Education Works, we're about closing the education gap. And so one of the ways that we identified that we could help close the education gap is to, one, educate the foster youth about the high school application process, to work within a local school in order to meet that need, and then to partner with Project Window that has done a tremendous work in this particular community in New York. So we had a fabulous time out there in New York. We're going to head to break in just a moment, but when you come back, you're going to hear more from Mrs. Hines and myself in regards to our collaboration there in Queens, New York, and learn more about our workshop called Journey to Success. My name is Dr. Anissa McNeil. I do the work, and I provide the stories of foster youth.
Betting on education. Join us November 14th for Casino Night, benefiting the 2016 Unstoppable Awards for Foster Youth. The event will be held at Mamie Kling Library and Museum at 4130 Overland Avenue in Culver City, California from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. To purchase your tickets, go to our website at www.edworks4u.org. Again, www.edworks4u.org. Be sure to make your reservations by November 6th.
Education Works Consulting Firm Incorporated now offers foster youth education services. We serve as court-appointed education rights holders to help close the achievement gap for foster youth. We collaborate and connect with other foster youth agencies and services within our community. We provide education trainings and workshops. Please contact our office at 213-634-0044 or visit our website at www.edworks4u.org. Contact us at Education Works Consulting Firm Incorporated, 213-634-0044. Visit us on the web at www.edworks4u.org. Glamour Gowns and Suit Up Committee cordially invites you to the 4th annual Day at the Races, Sunday, October 25th at 12 noon at Santa Anita Race Park. Please come and join us for fun activities, games, and to benefit foster youth that need prom dresses and suits. Our 4th annual Day at the Races will be held on Sunday, October 25th at noon at the Santa Anita Park. Please come out and join the Glamour Gown and Suit Up Committee. For your tickets, please visit CCAALA.org. We look forward to seeing you at the Day of the Races on October 25th. We're back to Foster with your host, Dr. Anissa McNeil. Welcome back to Foster Radio Show. We have the privilege of having Esquire Angela Hines on the phone with us. She is the CEO of Project Window in Queens, New York. Angela, can you tell us a little bit more about your organization?
Sure. So Project Window, I started in 2012 because I was seeing so many girls coming through the court system, and I wanted to figure out a way where I can help them and provide them with services so it would stop them from coming through the system. So I decided to, what did they need? So I said, education. Let's see how I can help them. So I started with the mentoring program and just talking with the girls and holding workshops on several issues as far as relationships, domestic violence, with them being in foster care, dealing with the support they need to manage. We actually decided that exposing them to life outside of where they live. Most of the girls live in low-income New York City housing projects. So we did etiquette class because some of the girls had never been to restaurants. So we did etiquette class, and then we took them out to dinner. I took them to a boarding school in Connecticut so they can see what life is outside of here, outside of the inner city. I took them rock climbing and just wanting them to want more out of life, just to show them that somebody care and just to have expectations of these girls. So that's what we do. I see them on a weekly basis and just expose them to life outside of what they are accustomed to.
That's awesome, Mrs. Hines. That's awesome. When you say that you observed what was happening inside of the courtroom, can you tell our listeners a little bit, why are you in the courtroom? How did you come to find that out? Tell them a little bit about your professional work as a lawyer.
So I'm a lawyer in Queens Family Court, and I represent children. I represent children on child abuse and neglect cases and delinquency cases. So we see all the abuse that happens, and most of the children end up in foster care. A lot of the children end up in foster care. And then from that, they take the road from the fighting and the gangs, and, they get arrested and they come through the system. And I just know that if they had the support and they had guidance and they had someone to care about them, maybe they wouldn't end up in those situations. So I wanted to stop them from coming through there. So I see it on a daily basis.
And I think that's just awesome that you stepped up. Not only do you provide a great professional work there in the community of Queens, but how awesome is it that you recognize that our foster youth, they need support. They need the connection of an individual so that they will have the tools provided to them so that they are successful in life. And I love the name of your organization, Project Window. Just open up a window and see something different that life can offer to you, something different that life can bring to you. So I was so very pleased to meet you, I have to tell you, and to have the opportunity to collaborate with you and your organization. It has really been a tremendous work for myself as well as for my company, Education Work. So I just want to commend you on the work that you're doing there in Queens, and I know that our collaboration is going to be very helpful to the community in the upcoming months and years to come. And
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And on that note, let's tell our listeners a little bit about the work that we did at a local middle school there in Queens.
Oh my goodness, it was awesome.
Yes, it was a great time. We had the privilege of having just shy of about 85 young people come out, middle schoolers come out and meet with us at one of the local high schools. And our objective there, the goal of our workshop was to blend the goal or the mission of Project Windows with the goal and the mission of Education Works. So the goal was for Project Windows to open up the opportunities. What other schools are out there in New York? And for Education Works, it was to make sure that we could complete the high school applications so that they could have a different educational experience if they wanted. And so our listeners are probably thinking, especially our listeners here in California, they're thinking, oh my God, this is California. We know nothing about the New York application process. So let's describe that for the listeners a little bit. And then I want to end that segment and tell you a little bit more about why educational opportunities is important to me. So let's describe the New York application process, Angela.
Okay, so when you are in the 8th grade, you have to apply to high school. So you have to choose 12 schools, and you can choose from all 5 boroughs, and then you are matched with the school. However, the children don't always fill out the applications properly. So they will default and go to a local school, which is not always bad, but a lot of the schools are failing schools. So they stay in a neighborhood in the failing schools where the graduation rates are very low. So we wanted to provide them with the tools they needed to fill out these applications so they could choose a school that matched with them, that had a high graduation rate that they would be successful at.
Yes, and what a tremendous time as we walked into the local school and we provided them with the easy steps of filling out the application. We literally sat down with them and helped them to complete the applications. And one of the young men that came to our workshop just had his eye on this one school in Brooklyn. And once we drilled down to what are the admissions requirements, we found out that you can't go to that school if you don't reside in Brooklyn. They only accept Brooklyn residents, and you must have a certain percentage score. So because he resided in Queens, that wasn't even an option for him. And so it's those examples. It's that example of not knowing exactly how the application process works. I need to choose a school. I need to look at the admission requirements. I need to see how far the school is away from my house. Can I get there 180 days out of the year? Also, to have them recognize, do they have a skill or a talent? Are they going to take a test for an exceptional school? And I have to tell you that as we were in the workshop, it was exciting to see a group of young guys, a group of young middle schoolers say, hey, I do want to go to a career technical school, because we talked about that electricians, plumbers, all of those individuals make a great living. And so look at a high school that could offer that. And we had a young lady that wanted to go to a high school that specializes in culinary arts. And we had other individuals that wanted to go to specialty schools. So I have to say that that was truly a workshop where you could see the impact of both of our organizations, not only providing a different opportunity for them, but enhancing their education experience so that they walk away with a high school education that will lead them on to this journey of success. And so I want to thank you, and I definitely want to thank all of the administrators and the staff members of the local middle school that we worked with. What a tremendous time that was for us last
amazing.
week.
Yes,
it really was.
amazing.
And not only did we get the impact of being there with the students, but it was so well worth it to be there in the room with their staff members and the administrators, and just to see the warm welcome that we received and the appreciation for working with the students. So I have to say to the local middle school there, thank you for having the both of us.
Yes, they were very supportive, and we really appreciate it.
So if you're here in California and you're thinking, okay, Dr. McNeil, that's great that you did that work there in New York, but I'm here in California. I live in the LA area. I live in San Bernardino. And a special shout out to all my new listeners up in San Francisco and San Jose in the Sacramento area. Hey, guys. I want to say to you all that my company does this kind of work here in California. So I want to tell you one of the stories of a young client there that we provide service for. This young client came to our office, and here in the state of California, in their particular school district, they needed 220 credits to graduate from high school. When that young person came to our office, that young person had a mere 65 credits. So the consultants and myself in my office worked. We went to every school. We talked to everyone. We did all of the required steps and procedures to see what was going on in regards to that young person's education. And just by working with everyone there in our office, we were able to take that young person with 65 credits and the status of being a non-graduate to now having 165 credits and being able to graduate from high school this year. I'm also pleased to tell you that not only did we work so that that person could graduate from high school this year, but that same foster youth is now signed up to take the ACT exam. That's one of the exams that you have to take in order to get into college in December. That young person is also signed up to take the SAT exam. That's another exam that you need in order to get into college. So can you imagine the impact and just wow, how enthusiastic our office was at having a young person walk into our office with 65 credits and then having them working with them and working with all of the organizations that they were involved in and all of the school organizations, so that not only are they a high school graduate now, but now they have the opportunity to attend the college of their choice. And as we sat down last week to talk with this young person about their new problem, the new problem of which college should I go to? Isn't that a fabulous problem to have? To sit there from being a non-graduate to now being a graduate, able to graduate from high school, and now worrying just like every other high school senior, what college will I go to? I have to tell you that as my staff and I and that young person walked out of that school's office and that principal said, you are now classified a senior and you are on track to graduate this year, there was not a tear that did not drop from everybody's eye. That is the power of education. That is the power of us working together. Every foster youth, every child deserves a consultant, deserves an advocate to work on their behalf. If you don't have a mom, if you don't have a dad, you need all of us in the community to work with you. We'll be right back. My name is Dr. Anissa McNeil. I do the work and I tell the stories of foster youth.
Betting on education. Join us November 14th for Casino Night, benefiting the 2016 Unstoppable Awards for Foster Youth. The event will be held at Mamie Kling Library and Museum at 4130 Overland Avenue in Culver City, California from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. To purchase your tickets, go to our website at www.edworks4u.org. Again, www.edworks4u.org. Be sure to make your reservations by November 6th.
Glamour Gowns and Suit Up Committee cordially invites you to the 4th annual Day at the Races, Sunday, October 25th at 12 noon at Santa Anita Race Park. Please come and join us for fun activities, games, and to benefit foster youth that need prom dresses and suits. Our 4th annual Day at the Races will be held on Sunday, October 25th at noon at the Santa Anita Park. Please come out and join the Glamour Gown and Suit Up Committee. For your tickets, please visit CCAALA.org. We look forward to seeing you at the Day of the Races on October 25th. Education Works Consulting Firm Incorporated now offers foster youth education services. We serve as court-appointed education rights holders to help close the achievement gap for foster youth. We collaborate and connect with other foster youth agencies and services within our community. We provide education trainings and workshops. Please contact our office at 213-634-0044 or visit our website at www.edworks4u.org. Contact us at Education Works Consulting Firm Incorporated, 213-634-0044. Visit us on the web at www.edworks4u.org. Jumping into Foster to Foster with your host, Dr. Anissa McNeil. Well, welcome back to Foster Education. And if you're listening out there to our radio show this afternoon, you just heard one of the most powerful stories in my office of how our foster youth education program has really worked with foster youth here in Southern California in order to change their lives. And so I wanted to ask you, Mrs. Hines, can you tell us a little bit about how this work has impacted you, because I know for myself in working with our wonderful foster youth here in California and in New York and San Francisco, Sacramento, San Jose, these young people have really impacted my life and really had such a positive impact on me. Can you share a little bit about what has been the impact to you from providing the work that you do in your nonprofit with foster youth?
I think that working with the children gave me a new appreciation. I know that these children really, really appreciate the work that I do with them. So after working in court all day and dealing with I have thousands and thousands of court cases that I do. And then to have these children, I come in and I talk to them. And one of the students said, I'm dealing with children that are really, really poor. Some of them are in foster care. Some of them live with their grandparents. Some don't know who their parents are. And one of the children said to me, Miss Hines, I'm so happy. The weekends are hard, but I know on Monday I'm going to see you, and it makes it all better.
Wow.
And I think that makes me keep going, that statement that, the little things that I do with the girls, just bringing them lunch or taking them out to eat. They really appreciate it, and they know that I care, and it really keeps me going because that could have been me. I grew up in the projects, and education got me out and gave me a foundation that I needed. And by me talking to these children and just telling them, and some of the girls, this was their first time ever actually being interested in school, knowing that I came from where they came from and knowing that I was successful in my journey in school, that they actually can have the same success. It really, really makes me feel good and keeps me going every day to do this kind of work that I do.
And I think that that's just awesome. I mean, what a tremendous impact that you'll have as you work with foster youth every day in the court system, to have that one-on-one interaction with them in a different capacity in your nonprofit. It makes the work so much more meaningful. And I know even from myself, having been a Kcaa in the courts for so long, when the young people know that I really can understand what they are going through, or they know that I take the time to listen to what they have to say, then they are so encouraged to just be authentic, and in time will begin to trust me more and more and more with what's going on with them. So I mean, truly commendable, the work that you're doing in the court as well as the work that you're doing outside of the court. I know in regards to impact, when we talk about the impact to us, just imagine the impact that we have on the young person that we're working with. Angela, can you share with us any stories from, or did you hear anything at our workshop on Friday from any of the youth that we worked with?
I think that it was amazing, and I know they came away with information to fill out the application, and they were encouraged. A lot of the students, one of the children said she wanted to go to this school that she didn't qualify for. So I helped her find a school that she did qualify for, and she was so excited. I showed her the sports that they had. I showed her that it did have the certain things that she was looking for. And she was so happy. She couldn't wait to go home and show her sister. I don't know this student, but she was going home to show her sister. So I don't know where her parents were, but she was so excited that she can come away with this information, that she was going to go home and share this information with her sister. And it was just amazing to me.
Yeah, it really was. I can remember one of the young ladies that was in our workshop, and she stated when we first got there, "Oh, I completed my application. I'm all done with it." And then I asked her, "Well, how did you fill out the application? How were you able to identify 12 schools that you were going to go to?" "Oh, I asked people what school do they like, and I kind of put that on my application. Or there was one that had purple on it. I put that on my application." And so we went through some of the schools and ended up that about 8 out of the 12 schools she did not qualify for. And then the other 4, well, not the other 4, but one of the 4 would have taken her 2 hours on the subway to get there. And so when I asked her, "Could you do that for 180 days? Can you wake up at about 5 or 4:30 a.m. and travel 2 hours on the subway to make sure you make it to the school by 7 o'clock every day?" She goes, "Nah, I don't think I can do that." So
and one of the guys, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
One of the guys, he was saying that, no, I'm going to the school my brother goes to. And I was like, "Well, what school is that?" He was like, "Oh, it's in Manhattan." I said, "Well, do you know how far Manhattan is from Far Rockaway?" He had no idea, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to go to the school that his brother went to because he didn't know the name of the school. So after we did the workshop and we talked to these children and we explained to them why it was important and we went through the application and, tried to find things they wanted, when the workshop was over, we had at least 8, 9, 10 kids that came up and wanted to talk more, wanted to get more information. They wanted to show us what they had taken from the book. They wanted us to, tell them that was a good job that they did. So they were definitely... they definitely came away with some helpful information, and
Absolutely.
They were definitely excited about it.
Absolutely. I have to say that that's the best way to be pinned in a corner, is to have 3 or 4 excited young people saying, look at what I did. I'm so excited. So it definitely was a good day. But when we're talking...
Do you remember when the kids first came in?
I do.
And they were both online. They had a boys' line and a girls' line.
Yes.
And they didn't want to be there.
Right.
"Oh, I don't want to be here. Oh, no, I don't want to do this."
Right.
And by the time we finished that workshop, they didn't want to leave.
They did not want to leave. And that is the power. That's the impact of showing one-on-one attention, really meeting them where they are, providing information to them in a simple way that they can understand it. And so if you're listening to the radio show and you're listening to Mrs. Hines and I, and you're thinking, well, wow, that was a tremendous work that you all did. How can I get involved? Or I think I can help you guys out. If you are in New York City, please go to projectwindow.org website and contact Mrs. Hines and see how you can get involved. If you're here in California and you say, "Dr. McNeil, I want to get involved. I can help young people understand more of what's going on. I'll volunteer my time." Please go to my website at edworks, 4, a small letter U.org, and you too can get involved. It doesn't take a lot of time. Angela and I will both tell you we were only at the school for about 2 hours. In just 2 hours, we were able to take kids who just wrote down anything on their high school application to having kids stay after the workshop to show us the work that they've done. So one, if you're out in New York City community, if you're here in Southern California or even in Northern California and you want to get involved, call my office, call Angela's office, and give us your name, your number, how we can contact you so you can help us get involved to help these young people. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot of money, but they really appreciated our time. They really appreciated the time that we spent in order to make sure that they got the best information and that they were able to fill out that application to their very best. I want to bring this home to Southern California because the majority of our listeners are listening right here from Southern California. And you say, "Dr. McNeil, that's great work that you did there in New York. But what is happening here in California?" Not only did I work with that young person that walked into our office that had just 65 credits and now is graduating and going off to college, we also had a young man come into our office, and he was he was provided with an education service that said that although he's 18, that he would not be able to graduate until he was 20 years old. We were able to work with every education system that he had been in and every institution that he had been in and examine all of his education. And what we realized is not only did he have the enough credits to graduate right away, but he also has the aptitude in order to enter into college. So this is a young man that was not supposed to graduate until December of 2018. He will graduate in just a few weeks from today. Not only will he graduate, but he's already been accepted to college. My office has already filled out college applications, and he's already been accepted into a college organization or institution. So that is the power of education. That is the power of having a consultant and having an ed rights holder work with you in order to see what's going on. So you say, well, Dr. McNeil, I am a foster youth. I'm behind. I want to know what I need to do in order to get ahead. What can I do? Who do I contact? The first person you tell that to is your social worker. Call your social worker, say, I want to graduate. Even if you don't know all the technical words, you don't need to know that. Call your social worker, say, I want to graduate. If you know your attorney's number, call your attorney, say, hi, I'm Anissa. I want to graduate from high school. Can you help me? How do I do that? Can you have someone help me? And if you just make that statement to anyone, your social worker, to your attorney, if you have a foster parent, if you're in a group home, tell your group home. Say, hey, I think I'm behind in my credits. I want to graduate. I need somebody to help me with that. And ask every day until you get someone to help you with that. Your ability to graduate from high school and get a job or go on to have a career, go to college or trade school, that's the difference between having a job and a career. Being able to support yourself and not being able to support yourself. So if you feel afraid, if you think, oh, I don't think I can say that, Dr. McNeil, it's also okay to write it down in a note. Just write a simple note. I want to graduate. I need help. And give it to your social worker or give it to your attorney. And just that small communication can help them help you graduate. I'm Dr. Anissa McNeil. I do the work and I tell the stories of foster youth. And we'll be right back after this commercial break. Glamour Gowns and Suit Up Committee cordially invites you to the 4th annual Day at the Races, Sunday, October 25th at 12 noon at Santa Anita Race Park. Please come and join us for fun activities, games, and to benefit foster youth that need prom dresses and suits. Our 4th annual Day at the Races will be held on Sunday, October 25th at noon at the Santa Anita Park. Please come out and join the Glamour Gown and Suit Up Committee. For your tickets, please visit CCAALA.org. We look forward to seeing you at the Day of the Races on October 25th. Education Works Consulting Firm Incorporated now offers foster youth education services. We serve as court-appointed education rights holders to help close the achievement gap for foster youth. We collaborate and connect with other foster youth agencies and services within our community. We provide education trainings and workshops. Please contact our office at 213-634-0044 or visit our website at www.edworks4u.org. Contact us at Education Works Consulting Firm Incorporated, 213-634-0044. Visit us on the web at www.edworks4u.org.
betting on education. Join us November 14th for Casino Night benefiting the 2016 Unstoppable Awards for Foster Youth. The event will be held at Mamie Kling Library and Museum at 4130 Overland Avenue in Culver City, California from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. To purchase your tickets, go to our website at www.edworks4u.org. Again, www.edworks4u.org. Be sure to make your reservations by November 6th.
Let's head back to Foster with your host, Dr. Anissa McNeil. Welcome back, everyone. If you heard that last segment, we are really encouraging everyone to get involved with our organization. See how you can help impact the lives of foster youth. Angela, could you tell our listeners a little bit more about the work? I heard you mention earlier that you mentor these young girls every week. Can you tell our listeners a little bit more about your mentoring program?
So we try to match the girls up with mentors. But right now, I come once a week and I sit with the girls and we talk about different issues, different life issues. We talk about health issues. We talk about what's going on in school and what they want to be when they grow up. Their life at home. Everyone doesn't have the same life at home. Some of the girls that don't have parents. So we talk about what it is and choices that they make, and how important education is to these girls, because I try to explain to them that not everyone will go to college. Not everyone will, feel that school is for them, but they can do it in high school. It's several high schools here that you can come away from with certificate programs where you can get a job, and that way we mentor the girls on being productive members of society, on how to behave, just general stuff on how to be kind to other people, that you don't have to have much to help someone else, to give back to the community. We do community service. We do the breast cancer walk. We do different things just to show them that you don't have to have money to give back and help other people, because no matter how bad they think their situation is other people out there that have worse situations. So I just try to encourage them to be good people, and just be successful in whatever it is that they decide to do in life.
Absolutely. And I think you bring up a very good point, because here in California, we have those programs as well. If you're in high school and you know that you want to be a cosmetologist, if you're a young person and everybody in the house comes to you to get their hair done, or everybody comes so you can do their makeup or their nails, we have programs here where you can get your cosmetology license while you are in high school. If you know, oh, Dr. McNeil, I don't want to go to a college, and I heard college costs a whole lot of money, but I'm really good with my hands. I can fix anything. We have programs where you can get a certificate, or you can join our ROP education programs here in California. I would just ask you to ask yourself, what am I good at? You will enjoy going to work if you earn money doing something that you're good at and something that you enjoy. So ask yourself, what am I good at? If you're good, if you know you can cook, everybody in your house waits till it's your day to cook, or everyone around you is always asking you to cook something because you're a very good cook, then explore that a little bit more, because you're going to have fun doing something that you like. So your mentoring academy your mentoring program just sounds so awesome. Can you tell us a little bit of what do the girls say after attending that program for a year? What has been some of the comments of the young ladies?
One of the girls who left the program, because I try to stay with the middle school to get them ready for high school, she called me and said, Miss Hines, you changed me, because I don't take no mess from nobody. And I would have punched that girl in her face if I wouldn't have been in your program. But I've decided that I have to think about my actions and decide what I want to do with my life. And I decided I was not going to fight this girl, because everything I do has consequences. And I did not want to get suspended from school. And I thought about what you said. You have to think about what it is that you want to do with your life. And that stuck with me. Like, the the mentoring program does stick with them.
Yes, that is awesome. So, Angela, if one of the listeners wanted to get involved with Project Windows, how can they get involved? If someone in the community wanted to get involved with Project Windows, how do they get involved?
They can donate. So the area that I work in is a struggling community. So we collect school supplies, book bags, notebooks, pens, pencils for the kids. I try to bring them snacks to every mentoring session, so if they want to donate snacks, that would be great, because sometimes we forget that these kids don't eat at home, that they don't have food, that they're not living with their mother. Some of them, we found out, are living on the street. I had found out that 9 of my girls were in foster care, and they are too ashamed to say that. They're too ashamed to say that they don't have what they need. So I just try to bring them different things, bring them food when I come on a session, just to know that at least when they see me, I know that they ate for the day. Or the book bags, I know that the supplies, and I believe that the students should have the tools they need to start off the school year right.
Well, that's
we
wonderful.
We also collect prom dresses also.
Oh, well, we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But I want to say to the listeners, if you're listening out there and you say, well, Dr. McNeil, I think I can contribute to that. If you want to donate a book bag and book supplies, her organization's name is Project Window. Go to projectwindow.org and call their office and leave your information and send your donation. Or if you say, Dr. McNeil, I live in New York, I'm really busy, but I love the work that Mrs. Hines is doing, I want to donate money. Please go to her website and donate money to help her provide these services, this mentoring service to underprivileged kids there in New York. You would be amazed. I had a chance last week to see their faces while I was in New York and work with them. You'll be amazed at the snacks that we provided to them, how quickly those young people ate those snacks. I even overheard one little boy saying, wow, these are donuts. These donuts are fresh. And he kept asking, can I have more? Can I have more? And it wasn't necessarily that he was starving, but just the privilege of having fresh donuts.
Right.
It's something that most people just take for granted. Something so basic like, well, I'm going to wake up in the morning and have a donut and coffee. Most of us, as we drive to and from work, we don't even think about that. We just go through whatever drive-through or go by our local donut shop. So if your heart is touched, or if you have the spirit or the willingness to volunteer and help, please contact Project Windows and get involved with this awesome mentoring program there in New York. And I have the privilege of working with Mrs. Hines on a project that we started talking about 5 months ago. Angela, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about your dress giveaway?
So we live in an area in Far Rockaway that was devastated by Hurricane Sandy. We were totally wiped out. And I remember it was prom season, and my daughter was graduating from middle school, going to high school. So it wasn't a high school graduation, but the list was over $300, $400. And I said, how do we ask these parents to pay this when they still don't have walls and floors in their home? So we decided to collect dresses. And then I decided, okay, what about foster kids? Who do they go to and ask for dresses and, shoes and getting their hair done? So I decided, because I work with foster care also, I decided that not only would I do it in my community, but I would do it for kids in foster care. So we collect prom dresses and accessories, and we give them out to the girls in the community and girls in foster care.
Wonderful. And we have a similar program here, and you all heard on our commercial break, Day of the Races. Day at the Races is a fundraiser for Glamour Gowns. And if you have listened to me in the past, or you follow this radio show, or you know me through the LA Children's Court, you know that here in Los Angeles, I'm a part of the Glamour Gown Committee, and we provide prom dresses to about 300 to 500 foster girls every year. And last year, for the very first time, we provided suits to 200 foster men or boys. And so we're excited to do that work here in Glamour Gowns. And I am excited this year because I have the privilege of doing Glamour Gowns here in Los Angeles, and then joining Miss Hines to do her dress giveaway there in the state of New York. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
So excited.
Yes.
So excited.
And so it's a privilege to work with your organization and to do some of the work to build that dress giveaway up the same way that we have developed the ability to give away those many dresses and suits here at the LA Convention Center every year. I cannot tell you just how thrilled the young people are for the dress giveaways. If you're listening to my radio show and you say, well, Dr. McNeil, I was a bridesmaid and I have a dress. Angela does accept dresses. So if you're in the New York area and you have a bridesmaid dress, or you brought a dress, if you're like me, you brought a dress, it was very pretty, you took it home and you needed the next size, but you didn't take it back. So you have a brand new dress hanging in your closet. If that is you, please box it up and send it off to Project Windows. We need all of your support and help in order to have a successful prom giveaway to the foster youth there in New York. This has been so amazing to have you on the station today, Mrs. Hines. I want to thank you. I'm so endeared and grateful to be your partner, to partner with you in this work.
Thank you.
Yes. Wonderful. This is Dr. Anissa McNeil, and you're listening to Foster to Foster Radio Show. I do the work, and I have the privilege of telling the stories of foster youth. Thank you all.
This is Kcaa Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
Tom Busby, CNBC Radio. It'll be a $37 billion deal that could reshape the healthcare landscape. Today, shareholders of both Aetna and Humana, two of the nation's largest healthcare providers, both approved Aetna's $37 billion acquisition of its rival. The question now for regulators is if the combined company is too big and threatens competition. On Wall Street, stocks ended with some modest gains today. The Dow up 14, the Nasdaq up 18. Energy